Standing at the center of a stage for his news conferences at 7 a.m. every weekday, Lopez Obrador has used the platform to swat at initial skepticism from financial markets and cement his hold on Mexico after a landslide election win last summer. Dictating debate much as U.S. President Donald Trump has via Twitter, the news conferences have muscled aside breakfast news programming and reduced other political leaders, including his own cabinet, to bystanders at Lopez Obrador's parade. "There's nothing between him and the people, not even oxygen," said Jesus Ortega, an erstwhile ally who ran the 2006 presidential campaign that Lopez Obrador lost by a whisker. As promised, the veteran leftist has slashed public sector pay, given up presidential perks and launched one welfare program after another at rallies around the country, replacing existing Social Security schemes with more direct transfers. Throughout, he has kept a steady stream of verbal fire trained on dissenting voices or checks on his power, including critical media, civil society groups or independent regulatory bodies, while reaffirming his belief in free speech and transparency. Relentlessly hammering home his commitment to end Mexico's chronic inequality, he has often used his media gatherings to denounce previous neoliberal administrations he accuses of ruining Mexico, such as that of his predecessor Enrique Peña Nieto, who very rarely faced reporters at live news conferences. "He's doing well," said Joel Carrillo, a 52-year-old car valet in Mexico City who supports Lopez Obrador. "He's taking away lots of privileges from the politicians." In his July election, Lopez Obrador triumphed with 53% of the vote. Now, as his administration reaches the 100-day mark on Sunday, the president has the support of almost 4 out of 5 Mexicans, according to one recent opinion poll. "For the moment, he is completely invulnerable and completely indestructible," said Agustin Barrios Gomez, a former lawmaker and board member of the Mexican Council on Foreign Relations, COMEXI. "He owns the country." Financial markets are not impressed. Rating agencies have issued a series of warnings that Mexico's creditworthiness may be downgraded if Lopez Obrador cannot turn around state oil firm Pemex, which ended 2018 with more than $100 billion of financial debt. Lopez Obrador said the agencies were punishing Mexico for failed policies from the neoliberal era. Still, a government official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the president was more concerned than he let on about the agency's views. "If economic problems do arise, Lopez Obrador would struggle to evade blame," said car valet Carrillo. "He's not taking help from his ministers," he said. "He's taking all the responsibility on himself." Achilles heel diplomats, politicians and members of his own government tend to agree the economy is Lopez Obrador's Achilles heel. The president has pushed consumer confidence to its highest level since at least 2001. But that has yet to translate into tangible gains for the economy. Forecasters are paring back their growth expectations for 2019. Lopez Obrador argued the airport was tainted by corruption. And he has long espoused the belief Mexico must keep its own oil, even if he has yet to entirely rule out continuing the auctions of oil and gas fields that Peña Nieto started. "The problem for Mexico," said Barrios Gomez at COMEXI, "is that the rhetoric of Lopez Obrador and his more ideological allies have almost made investment a dirty word. When somebody says investment, in their minds they translate it as bourgeoisie getting rich," he said. And the more moderate aides were unlikely to pick a fight with Lopez Obrador over the economy because they owed him their jobs, noted Ortega, his former campaign chief. For now, the president would continue to blame previous governments for economic difficulties, he added. But in due course, others would pay the price. "When something goes wrong, he won't hesitate to make heads roll," said Ortega.